What's up, good people? I hope you guys are. Let me see. Is it even live? I think it is. Oh yeah, there it is. We good to go. What's up, good people? Hey, what's up, Kelly? Hey, Stephanie, how you doing? I hope you guys have had a really good day. I know it's a little late, and I actually probably never jump on Facebook Live, but I've kind of got a little something to share and to say. Hey, Coco. Hope you're doing good. So yeah, if you guys don't mind, these five people, if you guys don't mind, like, share this for me. Because one thing that I have learned over the last week is that I've been able to kind of see me afraid of some things that I thought were going to be life changing. Hey, what's up, man? And so I really just want to jump on here for a quick moment and just kind of talk about that, because so much is happening, and for a lot of people, there are some great things happening. I mean, we're seeing greatness come out the wazoo in the midst of turmoil, in the midst of stress, in the midst of strife, in the midst of a pandemic. If you can think about it, like, it's starting to happen. So I kind of want to jump in there and just kind of sit here for a quick second. Then I'm gonna jump on off so we can go ahead and go back to watching Netflix and having the rest of our evening. So I'm gonna give you guys a little story as people kind of come in. If you guys don't mind, like, share, whatever, the usual, like, share, comment, all that good stuff like that, and talk to me, engage with me. So, I've been on my health kick as I started this year. I have the wonderful opportunity to work for probably one of the most talented and anointed and just intelligent women ever, Dr. Camila Stevenson, and she has an amazing company. Hey, what's up, Gwendolyn? She has an amazing company called Healthy and Better. And pretty much the initiative, she's had this company probably over 5 years now. And the initiative is very simple. Get yourself together and live the best life you can by taking care of the one body that you get. And so in this last 8 months, probably, I have learned so much about my own body, my own mental capacity, my own health, because we think that we have limited health to just what we consume in our body, not realizing, not considering emotional intelligence, where we are, relational dynamics. All these things really do factor into us kind of having the profitable and successful life that we all desire, that we dream about, that we're praying about most of the time. Like, all of that stuff factors in. And so within the last year, I've been, what I like to say, inconsistently consistent. That's it. Inconsistently consistent with what I'm doing, with my goals, with my working out, with my not eating fried foods, all that kind of good stuff like that. It's like, just like most of us, real talk, like, we have ups and downs, we have peaks and we have valleys. Sometimes we're extremely committed, working, pushing, doing it. And then the other times we are out here just kind of like, ooh, dang, like, yikes. And so with that being said, I kind of have seen, like, the mountains and the valleys. I've seen my weight spike. I've seen my weight decrease. I've seen my muscle mass increase. I've seen it not so much. Like, I've literally been through a gamut of emotions. And one of the things, I'm going somewhere with this. And so about 2 months ago, I came back home to Atlanta, and I was like, okay, you know what? Great. I'm back home. This weather's warm. I love it. My mama cooks all the time, and I've got the perfect chance to start over. And so I'm starting over, and I was like, you know what? I'm hitting the goals. I'm hitting my goals for my health and wealth, of course, because health is wealth. I'm hitting my goals out the wazoo. I'm fortunate enough to live in an area in the suburbs where we have a mountain not too far from us, and you're able to climb the mountain 2 miles up or run around it. So I was like, cool, easy. I've already got a challenge in front of me that I know that I can conquer by running the mountain every day. So for the last 2 months, I have legitimately been hitting it hard. Of course, COVID has kind of slowed a lot of things down, so we were forced to kind of do a lot of home stuff and all that kind of good stuff like that. But my goal has been to get up there, work out, sweat, come down, try not to ruin the progress I just made by eating the wrong thing, drinking the wrong thing, all that good stuff like that. And so today on my hike up and my workout, God really started to deal with me about success. And I think that I've had a pretty successful life. I think that God has favored me, and that there are moments and times when I have really leaned into God to get to the place where I am, and also like to lean in to get further along and all that good stuff like that. I've really learned to trust and depend and allow Him to lead me. And one of the things that he started to deal with me with today was about, he reminded me of the times in which I was afraid of what success looks like and what success was for me. And it's like, you're probably thinking, like, how is that possible? But it really makes a lot of sense, because we're in a society where success is welcomed. It looks different for everybody. Like, for example, like, success for me may not ever be like getting a couple sections, buying a couple bottles of 1942 and like wearing a bunch of expensive stuff. That may not ever be success for me. But for a lot of people, success looks like that for them. And so I had to kind of go through like, what does success really look like for Evan S. Brown? Because it's the thing about it, we can have goals, we can have dreams, but sometimes if we don't know how to properly and adequately measure what success looks like for us, we'll fall into a comparison trap where we'll feel as though we're not successful, when in all actuality, we are extremely successful. And then now we have we have a quality of life has been decreased. We're not functioning. We're not pleasant people. And so on my journey up there today, I'm getting to the point now. I sat there on the top of that mountain and I was just meditating, doing my thing. And I realized that I, just like a lot of people, don't know what success looks like for me, or did not know what success looked like for me at some point in time. I'm aware of it now because I've sat down and written it out. But the second thing was that I was afraid of success for so long because success was going to be different for everybody. It's going to force me to change. And most importantly, success was going to force me to grow up. I have the pleasure of being, I think I'm a pretty successful business and personal coach. It's been a couple years and I've seen some great strides. And I think the most consistent thing that I run into with my clients is the fact that when you are on a hunt for success and when you're on a hunt for a couple $100,000 or whatever your version of success means and what it includes, you've got to be willing to change. I know so many people, or I encounter people all the time who are like, I desire to be successful. I'm on a hunt for it. I've got to be successful. I am whatever, but you're not willing to make any changes so that you can actually see the success that you claim you want, that some of y'all spend a lot of time praying for it, snotting, all that good stuff like that. And we start to see situations where, hey, Jadena, hey, Mercedes, we start to see that we worked really hard for this thing, never got it. And then we also all of a sudden begin to question people like God, like, you failed me. No, you just were never willing to make the necessary sacrifices by way of change that are needed for success. Like, and I see it, I preach it, I motivationally speak it, whatever you want to think about it. I do it because I've realized and I've learned through trial and error, even with my own life, when I am unwilling and resistant to make changes for me or to me into my habits, my routines, I don't really want to be a success. I'm actually okay with kind of sucking. Like, think about it. Just take a moment to take inventory. Like, how long, or go to a point in life where you were willing to take a back seat. Like, I know people that are amazing and that are talented, but they're absolutely positively subpar. And it's like, you have all that gift, you have all those talents, you have all those amazing things that you could be and that you could be doing, but you're subpar. Like, that blows my mind about how easy it is to be subpar. It's like, we say things and we don't like to talk about it, but like, a lot of us choose to live beneath the standard that is allotted to us. A lot of us choose to live beneath the place where we don't have to. A lot of us sign up for struggle. And I realize this, when you sign up for struggle by not being willing to make the changes needed for success, you deserve it. Like, and this is not a Bible study. This is just a real life discussion. Like, when you choose not to make certain changes, or when you're resistant to making changes, you're automatically enrolling yourself in Struggle University. And there are a lot of people who are unaware or unsure as to why their lives are translating and going and flowing the way that they are. But it's because you signed up for the struggle. You welcomed it. You opened the door for it. You made it dinner. You poured a glass of wine. You invited it to your bedroom. You cuddled with it. You woke up the next morning with it. You did all of that for struggle because you were unwilling or resistant to make small changes that could absolutely change the trajectory of your life for forever. Like, real moment. Like, how many, for me, so I don't feel like I'm talking to myself, how many of y'all can be honest and say when you were resistant to change that you now realize you signed up for a struggle? Do y'all realize the power in that? Like, you signed up for it. Not that struggle caught you by surprise. Not that struggle showed up and like you didn't see it coming. Like, we talk about struggle. We talk about poverty. We talk about this kind of like low rate and subpar life as if it happened by surprise. A lot of the stuff that we are trying to navigate and trying to find a way to and through are things that we actually welcomed. Like we legitimately said, oh, struggle, come on in, take a seat. I like to have you here. I enjoy you. You look really nice. You got nice arms. You got nice chest. You got nice legs. Come on in. Let me engulf myself into you because I don't want to make a tough decision to make some changes in many different areas of my life because I think I like struggle. I think I like poverty. I think I like being broke. I think I like being unhappy. I actually think that I like the job that I swear that I hate. I love it. I think all that because I'm afraid to do what's required to be a success. Like I promise you, it's a real simple concept. You got to be success, true success and sustainable success requires personal change. I mean, I don't mean to disrespect anybody's belief system, but a lot of people and I can, like, when I'm in my Coach Ed moment, I can say whatever I want to say because like you pay for a session, but it's like a lot of I tell them all the time, come up off the altar, like stop going to your pastor, stop doing that because you're doing a disservice to the power of God and what God really does. 'Cause he does transform because you're choosing to sign up for success. You like signed your name. Like you put your whole name, you put your signature, you gave it like you signed up for it because you were unwilling to change. And in essence, you were afraid of what your new life really could look like. Like you were terribly afraid of what your new life could look like because success was going to require you to do a whole lot of stuff that you thought that you would never want to do. Or it was going to require you to do some things that you do not want to do. But in all actuality, in essence, is going to work out for you long term, long run. So listen, I kind of just want to jump on and drop that rant right there because I get sick of people that are kind of like, hey, man, I'm afraid of this. Or I'm not, my life is not where it could be or it should be. Yeah, 75% of that is you. The other 25% is like bad timing. But the 75% is that is like, okay, you know what? I didn't put the work in. I didn't make the necessary changes. And so therefore I'm screwed. And I look around me and I'm like, you know what? Everything around me looks subpar, but it's because you signed up for struggle. So listen, I hope that helped you. I hope that blessed you. Send this to somebody that you know is in a place that everything around them looks subpar and things are not changing and moving the way that it should. I promise you they needed this. I needed this tonight myself. I'm so glad that I got the revelation. I got the reminder of the fact that if you want to be somewhat of a success in whatever area of life you're moving in, you got to be willing to change. And if you're not willing to change, you're going to stay subpar. And it's nobody's fault but your own. Nobody's fault but your own. Like, you signed up for struggle and you said yes to being subpar. Now, as for me, that is a decision that I made. I came out of agreement with that, if you want to call it like that, 3 or 4 years ago. And I was like, you know what? I realized that in the midst of life, I have the power to make or break myself. I'm tired of breaking myself. I'm tired of not having. I'm not tired of being at the place that I should be because I choose to be subpar because I don't want to change. Because success required me to make some changes. So I pray this helps you. If you are on here, you're watching, like if you need a reminder, unsubscribe from struggle. Because I promise you, at some point in time, you signed up for it. You welcomed it. You said yes to the struggle that you did not have to live in and kind of be at. And I hope this helped you. It helped me. And if you're free tomorrow night, join me. I have a webinar called Help. I push everyone except myself. I can go on a tangent about that because a lot of us are signed up for struggle because we're choosing to submit everything that we have for the talents, for the endeavors, for the push, for the dreams of everybody else. But when it comes to your own stuff, you're like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to get started? The same way you started for everybody else. Then you wonder why you're subpar and you've been able to turn somebody else's life into an amazing success. They're thriving, they're prospering, they're going forward. And you're out here like, hey, you know what? I love serving in the back. You crippled yourself to be okay with the space that you were only supposed to be in for a limited time only. Like limited time only. I posted my flyer earlier and somebody called one of the terms they use it. They was like a super supporter. And it's like there's nothing wrong with you being extremely supportive of people, but sometimes you got to put that same energy into yourself because if not, you're gonna be screwed. Like I if nothing else in the last year, I've come into a level of self-awareness that has reminded me that a lot of the things that I believe and I want to happen are extremely attainable, and they're not that far away from me. But it makes me have to say, you know what? Before I look anywhere else, I need to look into self. I need to look at what is Evan doing? What is Evan not doing? What is Evan committing to? What is Evan not committing to? Because at the end of the day, it's on you. At the end of the day, it's on you. I don't care where you've been through, where you've come from, what you've made it over. Blessed be the name of the Lord. We're proud of that. But at this point going forward, it's on you to make some things happen for yourself. And if you don't make it happen, guess what? You have also signed up for struggle. You've welcomed poverty, and you set yourself up to have a really unhappy life. And this, let me tell you something, if COVID hasn't done anything for me, it has opened my eyes to the value of my life and what my life needs to entail and what it looks like. There's a song out called Happiness Over Everything, and that has become a personal mantra of mine because I'm realizing, listen, this thing is short. You could be here today and gone because of the flu-like symptoms tomorrow. What's going to be the thing that ensures that I have a gratifying life? Walking in my purpose, doing my thing, doing what I'm supposed to do, but choosing to be happy. And happiness also, just like success, comes with you making some decisions for yourself. I absolutely love people. Don't get me wrong, and this may seem a little tough, but I kind of am learning to have little to no kick it for people who choose to stay stagnant. Like, you're stagnant because you chose to be. Like, there's no other way to say that. You are often stagnant because you chose to be. I know we have concepts of different things like fear that I don't believe exist anymore. I don't think it doesn't register to me, and it shouldn't to register to you. But we have put these invisible hurdles as to give us, like, I guess, an approval as to why we haven't done anything, or why we haven't moved forward, why we haven't progressed, why we haven't built, why we haven't done what we're supposed to do. And it's like, all of those are you did that to yourself. We do it to ourselves, and especially as African Americans, because we have the ability to say, I've got limited resources, but you serve a unlimited God, a very resourceful God. I don't know where to start. Well, there are people around you, or if you look up or you scroll up, there are people around you that are doing it, pushing it, building it. You won't even just make the investment of asking a question. Because I'll tell you, one thing that blesses me is that people are like, oh my God, man, I signed up for your webinar. This was just what I needed. And they're like, man, I'm so glad I got a chance to connect with you. And I'm like, well, you didn't connect with me before because you never chose to send a message. Because somebody like me, because I believe that everything I have came from God, I need to push it and give it as much as I can. I'll respond to your message and answer your business questions, knowing that I should have probably charged you for a consultation. Because at the end of the day, this for me is very much so purpose. So I don't mind giving you what I've got because I know that I've got a whole lot more. But you never ask. A lot of us need to just kind of get off this live and send a message to somebody asking for assistance, asking, what can I do to learn from you? How did you get there? We just have to do that kind of stuff. And it's like, because if you got pride and shit, you got pride built up and you won't move in certain areas, you really don't want to be successful. Because I'll tell you one thing about it. If somebody's a true success, their pride has been broken repeatedly. I mean, almost consistently. Ask me, I know my pride has been yanked, dragged, tied to the back of my car, ran over in the shit. It's been beat down because there's no space for pride with the level of success that I believe is attainable for me. I don't have space for it. I don't have room for it. I don't have room for my ego. I don't have room for pride. I don't have room for all that because that's going to be the thing that keeps me away from what it is that I have. Like, people don't know that I've been mentoring for at least 2.5 years for free. Just for people who would ask me, hey, you know what? I see what you're doing. I think you have something that helped me get to where I'm trying to get. And I'm like, bet. You know, what do you need? Where are you? Talk to me. Let me know. And I give everything I have. And it's kind of like, you need to be charging for a mentorship program. God ain't told me to do that yet. God told me to give what I have and build and keep going. And that's what I'm doing. But it's like, how many? I know I've been able to help probably over 250 business owners and authors over the last 2.5 years to 3 years. How many more could I have had or helped and pushed if they would have simply just asked? I won't even get into the part about making investments into yourself to get your way out, to get the keys and the tools to be a success. Because honestly, being a success is not hard. The information is out there, but most of us are not willing to make the investment to get it. And I'm not even talking about just registering for my stuff, but even just in asking questions, connecting to the right people. We have been in a place where we're so stingy or we're so afraid to release what we have as if it's not going to come back to you 100-fold. I've been in Atlanta 2 months now, and I have taken courses, I've taken classes, I've signed up for webinars. I have done everything possible to ensure that when the dust settles and when outside opens back up and life goes back to normal, that I am 10 times better than what I was when I came into this pandemic. You're not going to be very successful if you're continuously stingy. And if you don't understand the principle of you making investments into you, you are never going to get anywhere. Like, you're never going to get to that place called there. You're going to continuously be looking at people on Instagram and on Facebook who are extremely successful. And the only difference between them and you is that at some point they chose to invest in themselves in whatever way that it took, by any means necessary. That's what they chose to do. They chose to put themselves and make themselves a priority. And that's another tangent, because when you don't make yourself a priority, you end up in situations where that's why you're unhappy. That's why you're not successful. That's why you're not seeing any fruit. That's why you feel like your passions have died and you don't really have a reason to live. It's because you've chosen not to invest in yourself in whatever way that it took, or that it was necessary for you to get to where you're trying to go. Elevate your voice, Evan. Don't like I have like, I'm telling you, COVID has, a pandemic, whatever you want to call it, has sobered me to a level of serious simplicity. If it doesn't make you happy and it's not going to be profitable or fruitful and not teaching you a lesson, it needs to go. If you're not willing to make investment in yourself in whatever capacity needed, you're going to go. If you're not willing to make those changes, you'll never see success. If you're not willing to make sacrifices, you're going to stay where you are. If you want to be stagnant, if you want to be subpar, do everything that you're doing right now. Don't change anything. I will say that again for those in the back. If you want to be stagnant and you want to be subpar, keep doing everything that you're doing now. When you really want to change, you'll kick it up a notch. When you really want to change, you'll up the ante. When you really want to bring some money into your house, you will do what it needs to be done. But if you want to stay subpar and you want to stay in the exact same place and in the same season, in the same cycle, in the same tax bracket, in the same life happiness level, if you want to do just what you're doing right now, if you want to stay there, do everything that you're doing right now. Because I promise you this, you are doing just what it takes for you to be and to remain subpar. You're doing it. And what did LL Cool J say? You're doing it, and you're doing it well. But at some point, the light bulb's going to go off and you're going to say, you know what? I don't want to be subpar. My life has been cool. It's been all right, but it could have been 10 times better. But it all started with you making a decision to not really be subpar. And so listen, if you're one of those people saying, you know what, I do need to make some changes, I am inviting you personally to my webinar tomorrow, Help. I push everyone except myself. Now listen, I do a lot of coaching and God has been very great to me and he's amazing. And I've been able to make some great money by being committed to doing what I need to do and staying in my lane and making it happen. I'm asking you, I'm encouraging you, a lot of you, to just be a part tomorrow night, not next week, tomorrow night, tomorrow night, not next Thursday, Help. Because this is the thing about it, you need the help. You need the help, and I've made it easy and convenient for you to be able to do it. $27. You have $27 in your account. I promise you. Because this is the thing about it. Learners, people who learn continuously, are the ones that are movers and shakers. People who don't read don't prosper. People who don't grow, who don't make those investments into themselves in whatever capacity, they don't prosper. And they never will, because you know why? It takes to get. And in the business aspect, the business world, it takes money to make money, investments. In life, in production and growth, it takes investment to get something out of an investment. So I'm encouraging you guys and asking you guys to be a part tomorrow. Help. I keep saying to help. I push everyone except myself, because to be very honest with you, a lot of you all are doing just what you need to do for you, for everybody else. Yes, it will be recorded. Yeah, it will be recorded. So right after it ends, it'll go out to you guys to rewatch the link. But yeah, most of us are doing just what it takes to be what it needs to be for everybody else. And it's like, at some point, you got to be sick of that. At some point, you've got to get tired of helping everybody else be successful. At some point, you got to just be like, you know what? I'm sick of doing this for everybody else. It was me. I literally loved. If you guys don't know anything about me, I got my start in this beautiful city called Huntsville, Alabama, under the leadership of Pastor Adrian Davis. And it didn't take but 2 years for me to realize, okay, I'm doing some great things for him. He's growing. He's prospering. He's becoming a man of influence. I'm doing my part, sowing on my behalf. But I got to start to do some stuff for Evan. I've got to. In addition to doing stuff for him, because you know what? Another thing, we got enough time. There's enough time in the day for you to do for them and to still do for you. But you've got to become sick of doing for everyone else. Tomorrow's the 24th. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Thursday the 25th. I'm sorry. Thank you, Tamara. You got to get to a point where you're sick of doing for everyone else and never doing for you. A lot of us specialize in self-neglect. It's like the whole self-care movement has taken off right now. And it's like, thank you so much. We appreciate it. But you suffer from self-neglect. You neglect yourself consistently, and you do it well. As I mentioned earlier, LL Cool J, what did he say? You do it, and you're doing it, and you're doing it well. You have self-sabotaged and self-neglected yourself long enough to the point where it's like you're tired, you're frustrated, you hate your life, you hate your job, like all of it. You can't live like that. You can't live like that. So listen, if you guys don't mind, I don't know how to put a little thing on it, but I want you guys to be a part. Go to my website right now. Take advantage of it. I promise you that you will get the pre-recorded sessions, but most importantly, you're going to get the wisdom that's going to transform your life. And I'm not saying that from an arrogant place. I'm saying it from a place of a man who is teaching you what he's learned through trial and error. This is the good thing about me. I know my lane. I don't do anything that I have not mastered. If I'm telling you to do something that is doable, it is because I've done it to myself. I've made mistakes on myself, and I have gone through it time and time again with somebody else. I promise you, it's not a joke. It's not a game, because this is the thing about it. Your future depends on it. What I've seen in the last 2 months, you guys have seen, everything that we thought was stable has shown itself to not be stable anymore. Every single thing that we have thought and convinced ourselves over time is stable is no longer stable anymore. So my question is, what are you going to do? Because stability is your decision. Stability is all on you. Like, I know people that are not prospering in the midst of a pandemic that are blood-bought, fire-baptized believers. And I can say, well, why are you not prospering? But what I talked about earlier, success looks different for everybody else. I have colleagues and peers that have been pushing out stuff like boom, 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 boom. And I'm out here like, COVID happened 2 months in, and I'm just now doing my first thing. You know why? Because success for me in this current window and season looked like rest. Let me tell you all something. I live in Chicago temporarily, and I got so frustrated that I had to get out of Chicago and come to my mama's house. You know why? Because I wasn't able to get rest. I wasn't able to clear my mind. I wasn't able to progress. I wasn't able to produce. So guess what? A win in this season for me looked like rest. It didn't look like me coming out of here with a new skill or a new trade. It looked like me coming out of here rested. It looked like me being able to realign my life, my priorities, my goals. It looked different. And that's why success is one of those things. It's got to be a personal journey. It's because you will think that success is always going to be money. But I'm a living witness that for the last 2.5 months, for success for me was quality sleep, happiness, a little sunshine, and being able to do small things that were going to make a big difference once everything had lifted. That's why it's important that you become in touch with what success looks like for you, because it varies per person, per season. It varies per person, per situation, but it's all personal. It's all personal. So listen, that was it. That was me. I pray you guys got something from this. I'm going to put the link again up. Sign up for my webinar tomorrow for Thursday. Help. I push everyone except myself, because at the end of the day, you're your own priority. Whatever you don't see, whatever you don't experience, whatever you don't get out of this beautiful life, where there's so many opportunities, it falls on you. And being subpar falls on you. Look, somebody just registered, just like right there. Like, being struggle is a personal choice. And we're going to talk about more about that tomorrow, but struggle is a choice. It's a mindset, but that mindset is followed by decisions. Bad decisions, but it's followed by decisions. So I pray this helped you. Share it. And if you're watching right now, watch the replay. After you get done watching this, send it to a friend. Send it to at least one friend. And then lastly, join me on Thursday for help. I push everyone except myself, because I promise you this. I'm telling you stuff that's made me plenty of money over the last 3.5 years. And I'm not saying that from an arrogant place, because it's all God. But I've been able to do the personal work to allow me to be able to build and sustain a business for the future. but it took me doing the personal work. Like, people think that you make money, you can be an overnight success, and some people are fortunate enough to be in that space. But it took me doing the personal work first to get to this point. And because I did the personal work first, I can stand up and say, yeah, I can teach you how to push yourself and not push everybody else. I did it. I got myself out that pit with the help of God and a couple mentors. I did. And guess what? It's a pit that I'll never have to worry about going back to, because I got the tools, I got the education, I got the equipping, and I'm ready for what's next. I'm ready to go for it. So I pray this helped you all. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. Again, you can go to my website, www.coachev.com, to register for help. I push everyone except myself. I promise you, this is the time for you to be willing to go for it. Whatever your it is, this is the time for you to go for it. Because at the end of the day, when the dust settles and when everything kind of balances out and evens out, you want to be able to say, I went for it, I did it, and now I'm seeing the success and the fruit of my labor because I chose to go for it this time. Like, you got to get out of that place where you don't do it. Because if you don't do it, again, it's all on you. And as I've been saying all night, being subpar is a personal decision. Struggle is a choice we often make. I love you guys. I look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday or tomorrow night. I'll be back again tomorrow night. I look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. For help, I push everyone except myself, because this is the time and this is the year for you to make it happen for you and for you to go on and do what needs to be done. So again, register www.coachev.com. I'll drop it in the comments, and then boom, I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. All right, have a good night.